On Pittsburgh's Action News 4 at 11, two people have been detained in connection to a shooting that happened in the middle of a funeral service.
Elementary school, Allegheny Middle School, and Alderdice High School.
The church organ breathes out amazing grace. A mama holds her tissue tight. Some little kid can't sit still in the church pew. Then gunfire erupts. 20 shots tear through the sanctuary. People drop to the floor, not in worship, from bullets. Destiny of Faith Church, Brighton Heights, Pittsburgh. The homegoing service for John James Hornezes Jr. just turned into a war zone. The young man was only 20 years old. Now 6 people are bleeding on the church steps. Inside the sanctuary, 300 people are running for their lives. Every exit could be a death trap. But this bloodbath? This didn't start today. Rewind 13 days. October 15th, 10:05 at night. A Sunoco station on Cedar Avenue. Betty Jean Averett stands where she always waits for the bus. 59 years old, grandmother to 7 babies. Jacqueline Mihalik hurries past her, clock ticking. 33 years old, late for the night shift at work. 12 seconds. That's all the life they had left. The shooters weren't hunting them. Betty and Jacqueline just got caught between hate and payback. When the smoke cleared, 3 bodies were stretched out on the north side pavement. One of those bodies belonged to John Hornezes Jr., the same young man whose funeral just became target practice. You're watching Shadow Crimes TV, where we bring true crime and domestic violence stories out of the shadows. Subscribe now and join us daily as we uncover the cases that demand to be heard. Don't just watch, be part of the conversation. The evidence the news never showed you. The dots nobody connected. This is how a funeral turned into a crime scene. John James Hornezes Jr. turned 20 years old in August. His godmother, Paige Davis, said he was hungry for something better, ambitious, still figuring out his path. But these north side streets already had his number. They had plans for young black men like him. October 14th, 24 hours before everything went sideways. John posted up with his crew for a photo, all smiles, throwing up signs. The caption got deleted later, but the police would dig into those digital breadcrumbs. They'd trace every click, every post, every threat that built up to the violence. The whole thing started over turf. Simple as that. Who runs what block? Who can post up on which corner? Just regular street politics. Usually ends with some jaw-jacking. Maybe hands get thrown. That's it. Betty Averett never heard these names. Jacqueline Mihalik didn't know these faces. Their worlds never touched. Until they did. But October 15th was the day their worlds collided. The police pulled those text messages later. Watch the beef build message by message. Threats are flying back and forth. Locations are getting dropped in the chat. Somebody mentioned that Sunoco is on Cedar. Somebody else said they'd take care of business. By 10 that night, 2 crews with guns were heading to the same gas station. A grandmother stood waiting for her ride. A working mother rushed to punch her time clock. Pittsburgh was about to lose 3 more people. All the pieces were moving into place. Nobody knew the streets were about to run red. Let's go back. October 13th, Friday night house party on Federal Street. Things got heated fast. John's crew and some dudes connected to Sharon Troutman started running their mouths. Witnesses told police later it could have been over a female. It could have been about money. Could have been just because somebody looked at somebody wrong. Watch your back, someone said. This ain't over. October 14th, Saturday morning. The screenshots tell the story. Text messages are flying like bullets. Instagram stories are posted and deleted in minutes. The police recovered one message that said it all. See you at the spot. That Sunoco on Cedar Avenue, both sides treated it like neutral territory. Both crews bought gas there. Both crews knew about those security cameras. Both crews figured cameras meant protection. They were dead wrong. That morning, surveillance caught Jalone Hines at Pump 3. 5 hours later, John Hornesses Jr. pulled up to that same pump. They missed each other by hours, but something had already shifted in the air. The talking was over. The threats jumped off the phone screen and into real life. Somebody posted a picture of their piece. Somebody else dropped a pin for the location. The Sunoco station. By Saturday evening, both sides knew what time it was. They'd handle this face to face. But they forgot something. Regular people need gas too. Regular people catch buses. Regular people get caught in the crossfire. 9:45 p.m. Security cameras watch John's crew roll up to the Sunoco. 3 men step out of their ride. They walk toward the store but don't go in. They're posted up, they're waiting. 9:50 p.m. A black Hyundai Tucson creeps down Cedar Avenue, passes the gas station once, passes it again. The driver, Samuel Pegas, is scoping the scene, seeing who showed up. 9:55 p.m. Betty Jean Averett makes it to her bus stop, sets her purse down, check the schedule on the post. The number 54 bus should roll up at 10:08. She's got 13 minutes to wait. She'll never see that bus. 9:58 p.m. Jacqueline Mihalik speed walks past the Giant Eagle, past the bus shelter, checks her phone. She's running behind for her 10:15 shift. 17 minutes left on her life clock. 10 p.m. The Hyundai comes back around. This time it stops. Sharon Troutman rides shotgun. Another man sits in the back seat. Police still don't have his name. All 3 are strapped. 10:02 p.m. Somebody yells across the gas station parking lot. The surveillance audio is fuzzy, but witnesses heard it clearly. What's up now? What happens next lasts 57 seconds. Hornesses and his 2 boys post up near the park next to the station. They pull their guns. The men in the Hyundai answer back. 23 shell casings will hit the ground. 2 different gun types. Multiple shooters on both sides. Betty Averett doesn't run. Maybe she freezes up. Maybe she can't process what's happening until the bullets find her. Jacqueline Mihalik gets trapped in the middle, walking right between the shooters and their targets. Wrong place, wrong time, wrong with everything. 10:03 p.m. The shooting stops. The Hyundai burns rubber heading north. One of John's boys stumbles upon a white Hyundai Palisade with Florida plates and escapes. John Hornesses Jr. is lying in the parking lot, dying. Betty Averett has dropped off at the bus stop. Jacqueline Mihalik is down on the sidewalk, blood spreading underneath her. The first 911 call comes in at 10:05. There are people shot everywhere. Oh my God, they're not moving. Allegheny General Hospital is 1 block away. Paramedics arrive in under 2 minutes. Won't make a difference. 3 people are gone. Jalone Hines caught one in the leg, but he'll make it. The war just got started. Somewhere across Pittsburgh, the shooters are already plotting their next move. Because these streets have rules. Everybody dropped the demand for payback. Every funeral becomes a target. 13 days from now, they'll prove it. Question for you. Picture this. You're filling up your tank when the shooting starts. What do? Run and maybe catch a stray. Duck behind your car and pray they don't see you. Or try to help somebody bleeding out and put your own life on the line. The North Side has its own code about what crosses the line. And they were already talking about getting even. October 16th, Sunday morning, Mayor Ed Gainey shows up at Cedar and Stockton. Blood stains are still dark on the concrete behind him. I couldn't imagine what that feels like. Gainey says about the victims' families, "We need the entire city to come together to deal with this violence. I know it's tough right now. I know that there are a lot of families and friends who are hurt right now, and I know a lot of them feel like they should do something. So I wanted to do something with you. I want you to call and tell us what you know. I need you to speak up and say so." They set up the sanctuary today. The mayor's words float across Pittsburgh, but in certain neighborhoods, folks are having different conversations. Talking about payback, about who's gotta pay, about which funeral to hit next. The Hornez's family starts making arrangements for John's homegoing. They know what's coming. They've heard the whispers. They'll beg for police protection. They'll get cops who show up at the wrong damn address. 13 days from now, 6 more people will be bleeding on Pittsburgh pavement. This time on the church steps. This time at a funeral. Because in this story, every death calls for another death. Every funeral becomes a bullseye. Innocent people just become casualties in a war nobody can win. October 16th, 4 in the morning, Pittsburgh Police Major Crimes Unit turns the North Side into a chessboard. 50 detectives are working the case. 6 different camera systems to break down. One mission: catch these shooters before they kill again. Detective David O'Neill runs the video squad. They've got Sunoco cameras, Giant Eagle security footage, ATM cameras from across the street, traffic cameras at Stockton and Cedar, even a Ring doorbell from a house 2 blocks away. Every camera angle drops another piece of the puzzle. That black Hyundai Tucson shows up in frame after frame. License plate is clear as day. Within hours, they got their man. Samuel Pegas, 30 years old, already got a jacket for drug manufacturing back in 2013. The white Hyundai Palisade with Florida plates. That one's trickier. It shows up quick, scoops up one of John's boys, then disappears like smoke. By noon on October 16th, something wild happens. The tip line starts blowing up, not just 1 or 2 calls, dozens. I saw who was in that car. I know where they went after. Check this Instagram story from last night. Commander Ford said he'd never seen the community step up like this. Maybe because Betty Avret and Jacqueline Mihalik weren't in the game. Maybe because killing grandmothers and working mothers crosses a line that even the street code won't forgive. October 17th, J. Lone Hines gets arrested at UPMC Presbyterian.
Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for joining us. We are here to highlight the arrest of 2 men in connection with the October 15th shooting incident that killed 3 people in the 300 block of Cedar Avenue. A tremendous amount of work was put into this investigation, as with all other homicide cases, with assistance from several different law enforcement entities in the community. The lead investigators in this case are Detectives David O'Neill and Edward Feller. Detective O'Neill and Detective Feller has joined us today to offer some more information about how detectives arrived at these arrests. This is an ongoing investigation, so additional details and questions will be limited.
Still laid up from that bullet in his leg, they charge him with 2 counts of murder for Betty Averitt and Jacqueline Mahalik. October 18th, U.S. Marshals tracked down Sharon Troutman. The 19-year-old was riding shotgun in that Hyundai. Ballistics will prove his gun killed John Hornis Jr., but locking people up doesn't stop what's already in motion, because on Pittsburgh's north side, justice and revenge look exactly the same. October 20th, the Hornez's family sits down with the funeral director. They pick Destiny of Faith Church on Brighton Road, a place of peace, a sanctuary. That same day, the threats start rolling in. Text messages, social media posts that get deleted fast, words passed around on street corners. The message comes through clear, John Hornis Jr. Quote, Ace funeral ain't gonna be peaceful. October 26th, the family officially asks for police protection at the service. Pittsburgh Public Safety green lights it. 2 officers are assigned. The funeral is 48 hours away. October 27th, the officers get their assignment orders, but somewhere between the radio dispatch and the deployment, wires get crossed. The address they receive, a funeral home, is 3 blocks away from the church. October 28th, 7 a.m., the officers pull up to the funeral home. Empty parking lot, no activity. They radio back to dispatch. No funeral scheduled at this location. Standby comes the response. The officers wait around. Check again at 8 a.m. Still nothing. At 8:45, they roll out. Meanwhile, 3 blocks away, people start showing up at Destiny of Faith Church. Paige Davis, John's godmother, notices right away, no police anywhere. Where are the officers? She asks the funeral staff. They should be here. Someone answers, we requested them. Paige Davis, John's godmother, corners the funeral staff, her voice tight. They should be here. She says, we requested them. Someone snaps back, helplessly. 10 a.m., the hearse rolls up, gleaming under the gray Pittsburgh sky. No police in sight. 11 a.m., the church pulses with life. 300 mourners pack Destiny of Faith. Gospel music soaring, prayers rising like incense. Outside shadows move, gunmen slip into place. Silent, ready. The church's security camera catches it all. Cold and unblinking. 12:02 p.m. A figure in black hovers at the corner. Another joins, then more. Inside, the pastor's voice rings, preaching forgiveness, urging an end to the bloodshed, mourning young lives cut short. Outside, hands grip triggers, steady and cold. 12:04 p.m. The first shot splits the Brighton Heights air. Inside, 300 souls freeze. A car backfire? No. A second shot? A third? Then a storm of automatic fire erupts. What happens when a community begs for safety and gets nothing? When cops show up at the wrong spot while killers hit the right one? When did a sanctuary turn into a slaughterhouse? Pittsburgh's about to learn. The church camera tracks the chaos. Gunmen darting, firing from planned positions. This ain't random, it's a trap. 5 shots ring out, a pause, then 15 more, rapid, relentless. Outside, 6 bodies drop, blood pools on the church steps, staining the ground where moments ago folks embraced, sharing tears and memories. Inside, terror takes over. Mourners dive to the floor, not in prayer, but in panic. Mothers shield their babies. Elders huddle behind pews. A voice shrieks, "They're shooting at the church." The pastor's mic catches his desperate cry, "Get down, everyone down." Grainy video shows the madness, a casket left alone at the altar, funeral programs fluttering like ash, a child's shoe abandoned as families scramble for exits that might lead to death. 90 seconds, that's all it takes to shatter the sacred. 90 seconds to prove nowhere's safe. Then, silence. Sirens wail in the distance. Police rush to the scene they couldn't stop. 6 lie wounded outside, 1 clinging to life. Inside, mourners who came to bury a son, a brother, a victim of gun violence, now tremble, merely victims themselves. The image burns into Pittsburgh's soul. Officers in uniform, heads bowed, carrying John Hornazes Jr. Seconds casket to the hearse, a goodbye robbed of peace, a funeral unprotected. Rob Dennis stands by the church, voice heavy, telling reporters, "You see how quiet it is now. It's always quiet like this. This doesn't happen here." But it did. At a church. During a funeral, in broad daylight. If not here, where? If not at a final farewell, when? If gunmen riddle a funeral with bullets, what's left to respect? 2 hours later, police cuff Sean Davis, 19. By nightfall, a 16-year-old is in chains. Both face attempted homicide charges. The investigation lays it bare. This was payback for October 15th, which was payback for something before, which was payback for something else. A cycle spinning so wild, nobody knows who lit the fuse. On November 2nd, more arrests were made on Cedar Avenue, but some charges slipped away. In January 2023, homicide counts dropped against Sharon Troutman and Samuel Pegas. They still face conspiracy and gun charges. The families cry out. LaRonda Everett, Betty's daughter, pleads, "Please lay down your arms. It harms the city, the world, it hurts." Bridget Mahalik, Jacqueline's mother, says her children will still live their lives without her. Numbers tell one tale. Pittsburgh's 2022 murder rate matched 2021's by October. But stats don't show empty seats at Sunday dinner. They don't explain to kids why mommy's gone. Mayor Gainey keeps showing up at crime scenes, making speeches. "This has to stop," he says. But the streets run on their own rules, their own brutal logic, where shooting up a funeral makes sense to somebody. Candles flicker in neighbors' windows. 2 innocent women are dead. 6 were wounded at a funeral. 3 young men are dead or locked up. Families broken. A community scarred. For what? Corners nobody owns. Respect bullets can't buy. A code that buries grandmothers. Thanks for watching. Drop your thoughts in the comments. If you haven't, hit that like button, subscribe, and turn on notifications. We bring you true crime stories daily, cases you know and ones you don't. Stay with us as we shine a light on shadowed stories that need to be heard.